All right, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Florida's recent, really significant ruling on open carry.
Yeah.
It's a real game changer for firearm owners there. And honestly, it offers some fascinating insights into rights and responsibilities, more broadly.
Definitely. There's been a lot of talk about it.
For good reason.
It's true. And what we want to do today is really get past the headlines. We've got a pretty comprehensive analysis of the court's decision here, and also direct bits from Florida Statute 790.06.
Right, the actual law.
Exactly. The core law on firearms.
Right.
So we can dig into not just what happened, but, the why behind it, the court's thinking, the actual legal words, to understand the bits that really matter.
Exactly. Our goal isn't just listing facts. It's about pulling out those crucial nuggets so you really get what open carry means now in Florida. And importantly, the responsibilities that come with it, how it all ties into concealed carry, too.
Yeah.
This isn't about taking sides, just giving you a clear, informed picture. The changes, the lines you can't cross, what you need to know.
Makes sense.
So let's jump right to the main event. Florida's gun laws just experienced a seismic shift, a big appeals court. The Florida First District Court of Appeal, a 3-judge panel, said the state's ban on open carry.
Unconstitutional.
That's it. Overnight, things flipped.
Yeah.
And the immediate result is pretty straightforward. The ban, gone. Openly carrying firearms is legal now. And just to underline it, the Attorney General confirmed they're not appealing.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah. In Florida, open carry is essentially the default way to bear arms now. If you look at the bigger picture, it's a major restoration of what this court views as a constitutional right. Sort of echoes how firearms were carried historically in America for, centuries.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Why did the court do this? Overturn a long-standing law. It wasn't random, right?
Not at all.
They tied it right back to the Second Amendment, didn't they?
Yeah.
Stressing that whole shall not be infringed part.
Absolutely. The sources we looked at really highlight the historical angle. For a long, long time, ordinary folks openly carried guns. It was just part of daily life.
So the judges looked at Florida's ban and basically said, this doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the history. It doesn't fit the Second Amendment's language or intent.
Yeah.
So the ban had to go.
Okay.
Now, while many see this as a win for constitutional rights, there's an immediate but right. Having the right doesn't protect you if you misuse it.
Huh.
It actually, dials up the need for people to act responsibly.
That's a perfect lead-in. More freedom means more responsibility. It always does. So open carry is legal? Great. But it's not like the Wild West now. There are still these sharp boundaries, as our source calls them, places where guns are absolutely forbidden.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And knowing these is critical, because stepping over that line, that turns exercising your right into committing a crime.
Right.
And you see a pattern, right? The places where open carry or any carry is still banned are usually sensitive spots, places where the state keeps tight control for safety, like schools.
Yeah, K-12, colleges, school events.
Courthouses, naturally. Anywhere court stuff is happening.
Okay.
Polling places, but specifically on Election Day. Certain government buildings, restricted state and local ones, and airports, once you get past the TSA security points.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it really raises a key question for anyone thinking about open carrying. How do you make sure you stay aware of these boundaries all the time? It takes constant vigilance, doesn't it? Knowing where you are, what the rules are for that specific spot.
That is such a critical point. And beyond those official no-go zones, there's this other layer people sometimes forget. Private property.
Ah, yes.
Just because the Constitution says something doesn't mean you can ignore a homeowner or a business owner's rules on their own turf. They can still say, no guns here.
You've nailed a really important distinction. Now, in Florida, just putting up a no-gun sign doesn't automatically make it a crime to walk past it while carrying, like it might in some other states.
Okay.
But, and this is the crucial bit, if the owner, or say a manager, tells you personally, hey, we don't allow firearms, please leave, and you refuse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that becomes armed trespass,
Yeah.
which is a felony.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Felony, that's serious.
Very serious. The source gives a great example. You're open carrying in a grocery store. Manager comes over, politely says, Sir Ma'am, could you please take the firearm outside or leave? You just comply calmly. No problem.
Right.
But if you argue, dig your heels in, refuse to leave, you've just crossed the line from legal carry to a major crime. It's this fascinating dance between constitutional rights and, fundamental property rights.
Yeah.
End of the day, you got to respect the owner's rules on their property.
And this whole ruling really puts gun owners under a microscope, doesn't it?
It does.
Discipline matters more than ever. How you carry, your attitude, it's all visible now. Any sloppy behavior makes everyone look bad.
True.
And knowledge protects you, right? Because saying, oh, I didn't know won't fly. And respecting private property owners is just fundamental.
Absolutely. And this gets to what one source bluntly calls the bite. Freedom without training is dangerous. Just having the right doesn't mean you have the skill. It's like getting your driver's license. Sure, you can drive, but you need training and practice to do it safely, right?
Yeah, good analogy.
Training isn't just like a nice to have, it's essential, especially now with open carry making firearms more visible. Good training builds real confidence, safe handling under stress. It cuts down on mistakes, knowing when to draw, but just as importantly, when not to draw.
That when not to is huge.
It is. And practically speaking, training protects your future. If, God forbid, you ever have to defend yourself, having proof of solid training shows you acted responsibly. It's evidence.
That makes a lot of sense. And like you said, with open carry, that visibility means all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
Our source warns pretty directly.
Oh, yeah.
One dumb move, a bad holster, acting cocky, not following the rules.
Yeah.
It could easily be used as ammo by people who want more gun control.
Exactly. Fuel for the fire.
The discussion even points to licensed instructors, mentions Valor Tech, for example, teaching not just shooting straight, but judgment, safety, discipline, the stuff that really keeps you safe and protects your rights.
That's the whole package, isn't it?
Now, let's shift gears a bit and look at Florida Statute 790.06. Now, this statute isn't about the new open carry legality per se, but it's super important because it's the law that lays out the requirements for getting a concealed weapon license.
Right.
And even though the open carry ban is lifted, understanding these rules helps paint a picture of the state's overall approach to responsible gun ownership. Those principles, still very relevant.
That's a really key distinction. What 790.06 tells us is that Florida already sets a pretty high standard for carrying firearms, especially concealed. It really emphasizes practical, demonstrable competence.
Not just theory.
Exactly. Basically, to get that concealed license, you have to be a responsible adult, clean record for serious stuff, and crucially prove you know how to handle a gun safely.
So more than just passing a background check, what kind of proof are we talking about? What competence?
It's about showing practical skill. The law lists several ways, but they all come down to showing you can safely operate a firearm, like finishing an approved hunter safety course works, or an NRA safety course, or certain public courses from law enforcement or colleges, taught by certified instructors. Even things like experience in shooting competitions or U.S. military service can count.
So different paths.
Different paths, but here's the really critical part, and it shows what the state prioritizes. For any course to count, you need proof that an instructor actually watched you safely handle and live fire a gun with real ammo.
Live fire is mandatory.
Mandatory. Watching a video isn't enough. You got to show proficiency. Beyond that, the law checks other things. No felony convictions, no recent drug offenses, no history of alcohol abuse that impairs you, no being adjudicated incapacitated, no mental institution commitments. It's thorough. It's designed to make sure people carrying concealed are both legally okay and practically competent.
Gotcha. And what about the sort of administrative side, once you have the concealed license?
Pretty standard stuff, really. Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services issues them. They last 7 years.
7 years, okay.
You have to carry valid ID with a license. Forgetting isn't a crime, but it's a violation.
Yeah.
Maybe a $25 penalty. Same kind of penalty if you move. And don't tell them your new address within 30 days.
Right, keep it updated.
Yeah. And if you lose the license, small fee, like $15 to get a duplicate. It's all about keeping the system accountable.
Okay. So flipping that, what could get a concealed license denied or even taken away after you have it?
Good question. Certain things are big red flags for the state, like being found guilty of specific misdemeanor crimes of violence within the last 3 years. That could block an application or suspend a current license.
Makes sense.
Same if you get arrested for any crime that would disqualify you later.
Right.
Or if there's an active injunction against you, domestic violence, repeat violence.
Okay.
What's really interesting here is even with open carry now legal, you look at this detailed concealed carry law, 790.06, and it really shows you Florida's benchmark for what they consider a responsible, competent gun owner.
Right.
It kind of reinforces that the expectation for safety, for discipline, it's still incredibly high, no matter if you carry openly or concealed.
So let's try and tie this all together. The Florida court ruling, genuinely historic. It brings back the right to carry openly like citizens did way back. But as we've really dug into, freedom isn't absolute. It comes with limits.
It absolutely does. For you listening right now, the main takeaways from all this boil down to a few key things. First, know the law. Yeah. Know it inside out, especially 790.06. Even if it's mainly for concealed carry, the principles, responsibility, competence they apply across the board now.
Universal principle.
Second, respect private property. No ambiguity there. Third, avoid those prohibited places. No exceptions. Schools, courthouses, etc.
Critical.
And fourth, maybe most important, train. Train more than the bare minimum. What's really powerful here is recognizing the court gave you the right. But it's your training, your diligence, that ensures you use that right responsibly, safely, effectively, for yourself and the community.
So what does this all really mean for you as this new chapter of open carry unfolds in Florida? How do these legal changes and this heavy emphasis on personal responsibility keep shaping that complex balance between public safety and individual liberty? It's definitely a conversation that's, well, it's ongoing, isn't it?
It really is. And this raises, I think, an important question. In a world just flooded with information, really getting these precise legal points and understanding this deep focus on training, it's more vital than ever. It's about knowing not just what you can legally do, but figuring out what you should do. For your own safety, sure, but also just for being an informed, engaged citizen.